let me ask you, what do you guys think of the current state of music? Not only in Kansas City. Let's go both ways. Not only in Kansas City, but in the world right now with rock music as it is right now. What do you guys think about what's happening? Because it seems like we're kind of floating around, in my opinion, doesn't it? There was like so many changes that happened through the '90s and into 2000 and on, and now we're kind of in this totally raw new era. So where do you guys think that's going?
Well, I mean, we are. I mean, like you said, with the '90s, the funny thing about the '90s, and with the state of music through all of that, was that there was so many changes, like you said, but all the changes was just creating a new trend, and the trends are bullshit, and the trends fall, and the bands that started the trend, if you notice, their music lives on. No, I mean
some of them. Yeah.
I'm talking about like the originators. You know what I mean?
Yes.
All these. You know what I mean? There will be bands, such as Nirvana, and Korn, and all
die.
these. No, exactly. I mean, those bands. Pearl Jam that was a part of it, and then like I said, Korn went on, and these bands that you might not necessarily like. Where Korn or bands of that nature went to now, but they started it and they still live on. And they still have the respect of people that go and see. Metallica can still go and tour, and they can sell out arenas even though their new shit sucks ass. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
But
I do know what you mean.
but they started certain trends, so because of that, they have the respect level and the love of their fans and that following, whereas the trends and the shitty bands that followed them that tried to basically fuck up and regurgitate something good and make a quick buck off of it. They made at best 2 albums. They're done. Nobody fucking even has a clue who they are, where they
I
at.
was talking about. There you go. Yeah.
And that's what took music down. And the '90s started off so great, went into 2000, and music just plummeted.
Yeah,
But through that's where I think that we reside. To an extent, that's where the underground metal scene has started to rise. The kids want people that have something to fucking say. The kids want bands that have passion. The underground metal scene, it's becoming a trend, and there is shit in it, but there's a lot more of those corns. You know what I mean? There's a lot more of those originators in the underground metal scene, and that's why the underground metal scenes went from, Kill Switch Engage or Dillinger Escape Plan or, even Poison the Well or
Glassjaw.
Glassjaw. I mean,
all good bands.
Even further back, Coalesce. Coalesce, who's coming
yeah.
back around again. These bands. I mean, there's too many for me to count, but I'm saying these bands that, especially bands like Kill Switch that were playing in the El Torreon, 3 years ago, or selling out the Beaumont Club and selling out the Uptown Theater now because the kids want something they kind of identify with.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's what's awesome about it. So,
well, what on that note, what bands have influenced you guys? I mean, you named a few. Obviously, I would think that you would, but what bands really? What did you guys love growing up?
Deftones.
Quicksand, Snapcase,
Glassjaw,
Tool, of course.
I was
A lot of awkward ones. Mars Volta.
All those bands are the bands that I love and listen to now. The bands that I grew up on, the bands that I love, the Misfits, Rancid, Pantera, Rage Against the Machine. Let me say it a third time. Rage Against the Machine. Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses was a huge influence for me. With writing, The Cure and U2 were both huge bands that I grew up on that I absolutely loved, which is funny because
it's a little different than what you're doing. I agree. Yeah.
But I say it proudly. U2 and The Cure were
that's where
amazing,
it comes from. I mean, it's part of what I would say to people. There are gods of music that have come along through the ages that music wouldn't be where it is today without some people. I mean, you can go as far back as Elvis, and people can say whatever they want, but it goes from there on, and there was people that just kept pushing the envelope to where we are today. And you guys, I would think, are one of those bands that are doing it right now today in the streets. So
Thank you.
I love that about you guys.
Thank you very much.